New fallout after the Alabama Supreme Court ruling declaring that embryos are children. More clinics now pausing their IVF services, leaving patients and providers in limbo. And Elizabeth Schulze is in Birmingham, Alabama with more. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Rebecca. New IVF treatments are currently on hold here at Alabama's biggest hospital. Families who are patients here tell us that they haven't even heard from their providers about what happens next. There are so many questions and very few answers as that Supreme Court decision ripples across the state and country. This morning, IVF treatments are on pause at nearly half of Alabama's fertility clinics as doctors and families grapple with that controversial state Supreme Court ruling.
I want to be a mom, and we want to build a family, and I think that should be our choice.
Emily Capolito and her husband James stored their embryos at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. It's the biggest of 3 providers that have now halted new IVF treatments, the process used by 238,000 Americans every year to help get pregnant.
This is an incredibly grueling physical, mental, and emotional process.
The couple has spent more than $50,000 on treatments over 2 years and had hoped to schedule their first embryo transfer next month.
I do feel like that timeline is in jeopardy. We are on an indefinite pause.
The reason for the pause? Doctors like Beth Malizia at Alabama Fertility Specialists fear they could now face wrongful death charges for discarding unused embryos, a typical part of the IVF process.
Some really hard phone calls over the last couple days to patients.
Alabama Supreme Court decision made it the first state to determine frozen embryos are children. President Biden in a statement saying the ruling is a direct result of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, arguing that laid the groundwork for states to impose restrictions on women's reproductive rights. IVF patient Tori Beasley tells us she's dejected that the courts are deciding her family's future.
How does someone else get to dictate what I say, what I want for my family?
She was scheduled to have an embryo transfer March 4th. Her doctor calling late Thursday to say the procedure was canceled.
You stay in a state of hope, I guess, just being hopeful.
Are you hopeful today?
Still hopeful. That's all I have right now.
Many of the families we've been speaking with say that they don't have the option financially and they don't want to leave home here to do IVF in another state. They also don't know if legally they could move their embryos to another state without facing liability. Lawmakers here did introduce legislation to protect IVF, but it would still need to pass the Republican legislature. Rebecca.
And that IVF is such a significant undertaking as it is, and your heart really goes out to those families caught in the middle. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.